بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وخاتم النبيين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بالإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's short reminder, we want to talk to you about the importance of the Quran in the life of the Muslim. Now, you would think that this is a situation that we don't really need to talk about, or you may think as though this is a topic that you don't need to listen to. But give me a minute. Regardless of what it is that we say that we believe about the Quran, the majority of the people don't look at it as anything different than any of the other books on their bookshelves. We get a new Quran, get a new Mus'haf, we look at it as a beautiful book. We take it home, we put it down, or we put it on the bookshelf, and it sits there. How many of us actually understand the importance of the Mus'haf, or of the Quran, or of that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down to mankind as a guidance? How many of us understand how important this book is to each and every one of us? How many of us actually can say that we spend time with our Quran? This book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down to us as a guidance, as a light, as a way to show us how to achieve success in both this life and the hereafter. How many of us can be honest and say that we spend even once a month with the Quran? I don't mean picking it up and dusting it off either. How many of us can say that we spend once a week with the Quran? How many of us can say that we spend once a day with the Quran? Have a special time, even 10 minutes out of the day, in which we recite the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or at the very least we read the book of Allah ta'ala. Even if it's not in the Arabic language, even if it's in the English, just to gain some understanding. Very, 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 very few of us. That's a shame. If we're from amongst these people that never pick up our Quran, then we're forbidding ourselves from a whole lot of khair, or a whole lot of good that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has meant for you as a Muslim. Now, I do want to turn your attention to something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in Surah An-Nahl, verse number 89, وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابِ تِبْيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ. Allah Ta'ala, He says here in this ayah, and we have sent down to you the book as a clarification for all things, and as a guidance and a mercy and good tidings for the Muslims. This is this book that we put aside. This is this book that we usually only pick up to dust off so that the company doesn't see it gains a lot of dust all over it. This book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He sent down as a clarification of all things. You want to learn about things, pick up the Quran. You want to learn how to do things, pick up the Quran. You want to learn how to go about understanding things, pick up the Quran. You want success, pick up the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains that He sent it down as a clarification for all things. As well, He says, as a guidance, as a way of giving you guidance and mercy, and as a way of giving good tidings to the believers, or to the Muslims. This is this book that we're running from. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down to you because He loved you. And you've taken this gift and put it on the shelf to get dusty. And you pick it up before you have company and dust it off so that the company doesn't think that you're disrespecting this book. When in reality, you have a jewel in your house. You have something that all of mankind is in need of in your house. You just have to pick it up and read it. And in another ayah, Allah Ta'ala, He says, وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ الذِّكْرَ لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, He says in this ayah, Surah An-Nahl, ayah number 44, And we revealed to you the message, that you may make it clear to the people that which was sent down to them, and that they might give thought. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't send that book down to sit on your shelf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't send that book down so that you can use it as decoration and make your house beautiful. But rather, He sent this message down to Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam so he can explain it to us. And so that we can reflect on its meanings. How are we going to reflect on its meanings if we're not reading it? If we're not trying to understand this miracle that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down to His Prophet, Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. This isn't the book of any individual, or this isn't the speech of any individual. This is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He sent down as a guidance, that He sent down as a rahmah, that He sent down as a mercy. We need to start looking at this book as though it's something alim, it's something great, because really it is. The problem is we're so used to not reading that we apply this concept of not reading even when it comes to the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to correct this. And the last ayah I want to remind you about today, because all of these ayah, I'm sure you all have heard 1,000,001 times. But the thing about it is we need to start reflecting on these ayah. We need to start thinking about these ayahs and taking them for what they are. They're a reminder. They're a guidance. So we need to use them as this. Allah Ta'ala, He says in Surah Al-Qamar, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, He says, again in Surah Al-Qamar, ayah number 17, and we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then is there any that will remember or receive admonition? Can you possibly receive admonition by leaving the Quran sitting on the table or sitting on the desk or sitting on the shelf as a piece of decoration in your house, the same way you have those, whatever they may be, the certificates hanging on the walls for people's diplomas, awards that people may have gotten? No, this isn't what the Quran is for. It's not decoration. Not only did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send it down, He says in this ayah that He made it easy to understand and remember. He says, then is there any that will remember or receive admonition? You need to pick the Quran up and read it. You need to start pondering over its meaning. You need to start thinking about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been trying to say to you, so that you can receive admonition from this mighty book or the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that you can be of those who receive this success that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set for you. So make a schedule. Make a time, even if it's 10 minutes a day, to pick up the Quran and read. Even if it's in your language, even if it's in English, so that you can gain an understanding. Don't just pick it up to memorize it. Okay, alhamdulillah, that's great that you're memorizing the Quran, but understand the Quran. The Quran wasn't just meant to be memorized. It was meant to be a guidance to the people. There's nothing wrong with reading the Quran in your language and getting an understanding of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down as a guidance to you until you're able to understand it in the Arabic language. Don't give up on reading the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, I don't want to read it until I can understand it in Arabic. No. Start learning this guidance, and as you learn more Arabic, then you'll start to understand more in the original language, and you'll start to get even more of a benefit. But some benefit is better than none. So go pick up your Quran, begin reading it. Take some time out of your busy lives. Everybody has an extra 10 minutes within the course of their day. I don't care how busy you are. Take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you can spend with the book of Allah, with the speech of your Lord. Make some time for it. get some benefit from it. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to use it as a way of guiding you and guiding us all. Jazakumullahu khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.